Sorry, having a little technical difficulties. We welcome you back here to Wolf Field, here for another installment of Sockeyes baseball. This time, the Sockeyes looking to get their 13th win in a row, as that first pitch of the game is fouled off that time. Sockeyes have already faced the Potatoes twice thus far in the season. They are 2-0 in those games. Here, taking a look at the starting lineup. On the mound is number 40, Evan Massey, as he leaves that ball high. Nice warm day here as the Sockeyes organization takes a little moment to recognize the veterans and first responders here as we are 1 day away from the 4th of July, Independence Day.
2-1.
Massey in there for a strike. So it's 2-2 now for Evan Massey. So that one low will fill the count up at 3-2. Evan Massey looking to get his first out of the game. Here comes the full count pitch. Winds and delivers outside, so the first batter will reach on a walk. That was Menard playing center field today for the Potatoes. So like I said, the Sockeyes played the Potatoes twice thus far. They're 2-0 in those games. Taking a look at the stats from those games, Sockeyes only allowed 7 hits through 2 games against the Potatoes. The pitching has been dominant in both of those games, as Massey throws that ball out or inside for ball 1. Pitching staff has thrown 27 strikeouts against the Potatoes, as that batter swings and misses that time at the offering from Massey. Tagging along to those 27 strikeouts is a 2.5 ERA, so the Sockeyes able to limit the runs scored. Score both of the games in which they won, as that one chopped weakly over the first baseman's head. Runner's going to round second in there at third, so a single that time from Cheney advances Menard over to third base. As we'll reset the count here, Massey early struggles on the mound, trying to correct himself.
Now batting, the catcher, number 22, Brooks Wan.
So now up for the Potatoes, number 22, Brooks Wan. Wan is playing catcher, played same position for the Potatoes in the last 2 outings. Massey in there for a strike. Massey, somebody who relies on that fastball, tries to mix in a little bit of off-speed stuff, but that's his out pitch, is the fastball. The lefty stands at 6'7". That one hit weakly over to second, fielded cleanly by Hale. Double play turned. So 2 outs here, but that one will score the first run of the game for the Potatoes. So the base is clear. One guy comes across to score, but a double play from Hale scoops it over to Takahashi and then rifles it over to first. First pitch on its way is high for Pohl. Pohl, the batter, in for the Potatoes, playing right field today in this contest. That pitch in there for strike 1. So Massey evens the count up 1-1. Looking at Massey, in this season, he's thrown 22 innings. That one in there for a strike. The Evan Massey fan club over on the left side of the stands on their feet here, awaiting the potential strike 3 here. In there, struck him out. So 3 strikes that time, retires the batter. Evan Massey Only allows 1 run that inning.
That'll end the first inning for the Potatoes. They do get a
We'll be
run
back
on
in the
one
bottom
hit
of the
from
first
Sockeyes.
inning to see if the Sockeyes can get that run back.
Potatoes left on
Be right
base.
back after this break from our sponsors.
Fans
So here we go, leading off the bottom of the first
leading off
inning
the
for
bottom
the
of first inning
Sockeyes.
for your Sawtooth Sockeyes.
In at the plate,
Fielder,
number 2,
Carter
playing center
Walsh.
field, Carter Walsh. Walsh getting ready to take his first hacks of the game. In there for a strike is that first pitch. So Walsh struggled a little bit at the dish as of late, trying to get himself back on track. Despite his woes at the dish, he's still got one of the best batting averages on the Sockeyes. Right now, he's rocking a 312 for that batting average. Here we go, that pitch up and away from Owen Manning, excuse me. 2-1 count on the way. Fouled straight back, drifting into the street. So Walsh evens the count up 2-2. When he steps back in the box, trying to get the Sockeyes going here at the leadoff spot. 2-2 on the way and outside. Walsh takes that one. So full count here for the first batter, Carter Walsh, attending Northwest Nazarene University. Here it comes from Manning. That one low, so that'll get Walsh on first base via walk. Coming in now, playing second base, already had some action out there. Jack Hale.
Now batting.
Hale attends the College of Southern Nevada.
Jack Hale.
Like I said, he's already seen a little bit of action, helping turn that double play in the top of the first. That one in the dirt. Walsh is going to advance easily over there to second. Ball one gets away from the catcher, Juan a little bit, so Walsh able to advance to second. Carter Walsh, a lot of speed on the bags. There's a reason he's playing center field. He can get to just about anywhere in a hurry. A lot of speed in the outfield, but it translates to base running. He's got his fair share of stolen bases in this season for the Sockeyes. Is that one in there for a strike from Manning? So number 5 steps back in the box, looking at a 1-1 count. Manning checks on Walsh a little bit over there at second before delivering a high off-speed pitch out of the zone. Stepping back in, taking a look at Jack Hale's season so far, he's been one of the most consistent bats on this team. A base hit machine. Looking to do just that here as he fouls that one towards the first base dugout. So 2-2 is the count here. Nobody down. You got a guy on second base with a lot of speed. Base knock will likely score Walsh from second as we await the pitch here from Manning. Glances over at Walsh before delivering that one. Checks his swing, but they'll say he went. So a strikeout that time from Manning gets the first guy down for the Potatoes. Stepping in at the 3-hole, number 20, Ryder Cutlip. Cutlip awaiting his senior season at Owyhee High School, coming off back-to-back state championships. Cutlip got a guy on second waiting to be hit around. Trying to do just that here as he awaits the first pitch of the bat. That one in the dirt, but Juan able to corral it. So ball 1 there to Cutlip. Cutlip, an outfielder, playing left field this time for the Sockeyes. He was in that same spot in yesterday's midday game against the Bluebirds. So Manning steps off, trying to keep Walsh honest over there at second base. Mentioned Walsh's speed. Definitely something you're going to write down when you're scouting the Sockeyes team. So Manning delivers the 1-0. That one is also low. So an early 2-0 count here for the lefty, Ryder Cutlip. Cutlip scored the first run of the game for the Sockeyes in yesterday's 4-0 win against the Bluebirds. That win against the Bluebirds extended their winning streak to 12 games, looking to make it 13 in a row here. Sockeyes, since they got back from the road, they have looked incredible. The 3-0 right down the middle there to Cutlip turns it to a 3-1 count. Here we go. 3-1 hitters count here to Cutlip. After Manning checks on Walsh again. Definitely going to be looking to get a sizable lead over there at second to try and ensure the tying run comes across home plate. Here we go, 3-1. Swing and a miss that time. Pitch was inside to Cutlip. Couldn't turn on that one. Tried to drive it over to right field. When he steps back in the box, it's going to be the second full count of the inning for the Sockeyes. Here we go, on the way from Manning, fouled straight back over the net. So we'll do it one more time, the 3-2 count for Cutlip. Stepping back in. That runner's still on second base. Cutlip trying to get him in for the first run. That one weakly grounded over to second, but it's going to miss his glove. Base knock. Walsh easily in there, so a base hit RBI. Cutlip feeling good at the dish this season, and he ties it up that time with a base knock. Dribbles over the top of the second baseman's glove to tie this game up at 1. In stepping is the first baseman, number 23, Grady Daniels. Daniels played first yesterday in that midday game as he awaits that first pitch in there on the outside of the black. Strike 1. Daniels committed to Utah Tech University in St. George, Utah. Takes that one for ball 1. So now you've got Cutlip over there at first base. Daniels trying to get himself going. He struggled a little bit at the dish in these past few games. Trying to get himself going here and potentially get the lead for the Sockeyes if they're able to keep these bats going. Swing and a miss that time, however, is going to make it a 2-strike count. 1 ball. So Daniels will be entering his senior season at Skyview High School in Nampa, Idaho in this next school ball season. That one way high. Didn't even tempt Daniels that time. Evens the count 2-2. So Owen Manning just crosses that 20-pitch mark with that one. Quite a few pitches thrown here. Sockeyes making him work, getting deep in the counts. Daniels fouls that one off. Speak of the devil that time. Sockeyes continue to extend counts and keep themselves alive. 2-2. We'll do it again for number 23. Manning sets himself up at the mound. Takes a look at Daniels. Delivers that one. Close call, but they call it a ball outside. Nice take there from Daniels. Full count, a familiar sight here in this inning. 3-2. 1 guy down. Here it comes. Cutlip got the jump early, but Daniels fouls that one off for the second time this at-bat. Cutlip will walk back over to first when we do the full count over again. Daniels awaits that one, and it's low for a walk, something that he's seen plenty this season, able to draw a walk that time, a common occurrence for Daniels. So it's 2 guys on, 1 guy down as we await the next batter. This time it's going to be the designated hitter, number 15, Kason O'Neill. O'Neill attending the College of Southern Idaho. Another guy who, when he gets it going, he does it in a big way. Got a lot of pop over there at the plate as he fouls that one straight back into the catcher's glove for strike 1. So O'Neill, like I said, a big bat. He's batting just over 200 this season, but of those hits, 4 of them are extra base hits. 2 of them are triples. Sits back and watches strike 2 go by him that time. Manning to throw his 28th pitch. That time to O'Neal is well inside. Didn't even lift his bat off his shoulder that time. Stepping back in. Now it's going to be a 1-2 count here. 2 guys on. Looking to advance both runners and avoid hitting into a double play potentially. That one swung on. They're going to say he fouled that one off. So O'Neal, similar to Daniels, doing a good job of keeping himself alive with those foul balls. O'Neal awaiting the 30th pitch from Manning. Swung on that time, misses. Strike 3 sends him back to that dugout. 2 outs now for the Potatoes. And in steps number 12.
Right fielder, number 12.
Playing right field, Dane Bradshaw. Bradshaw plays the outfield, also plays behind the dish, commonly seen catching. Fouls that one straight over to Coach Price for strike 1. Manning thrown a ton of pitches in this first inning, racking up 31 after that one to Bradshaw. Sockeyes doing a really good job of making him work early. That one in there for a strike. These competitor league teams, not very deep when it comes to their bullpen, so getting a guy over 30 pitches in 1 inning is a huge deal for this Sockeyes offense. That looping off speed just misses the head of Bradshaw that time, ball 1. So here we go with another 1-2 count. Bradshaw in awaiting that pitch outside, so call it ball 2. 2-2 is the count for the right fielder. Cutlip, the leading runner over at second base. Daniels at first. Sockeyes trying to avoid stranding 2 potential runs. That one swung on and missed. Struck him out swinging. So they will strand 2 guys on. Sockeyes able to tie it up at 1-1. We'll be back in the top of the second with a tied ball game here in Wolf Field. So the top of the second inning here for the Sockeyes. Massey's still on the mound.
Leading off the top of the second inning for the Idaho
Leading
Potatoes.
off for the Potatoes.
Third baseman number 2, Josh.
Playing third
Tiersma.
base. Tiersman in, taking his first hacks of the game. Pitch on the way from Massey is high for a ball. So Massey did a pretty good job that first inning, only allowing 1 run as he is in there for a strike. Next pitch on its way. Swung on, weakly hit. Is it going to stay in play? Massey fumbles it. It's going to be a close play, but they call him safe over there at first. That one's a close play. Massey and Daniels both pleading their cases, but the Blue is not going to budge. So safe at first base. That ball looked like it might bounce foul. Massey put his glove on it, tried to flick it over to first, but he couldn't make the play. So it's going to be an infield single that time. Massey stayed under 20 pitches.
23.
That one inside for ball 1. Taking a look at Massey's season, one of the more common starting pitchers. He started 5 games, thrown 22 innings, 23 after that last inning. He's 1-1 when on the mound. That one fouled off by Summerfield. Summerfield, the next batter in the Potatoes lineup, playing shortstop. Massey struck out that last batter to end the top of the first inning, something we've seen him do a lot this season. Totaled 26 Ks when up on the mound. Blue calling this strike zone really tight. That one just underneath the strike zone for ball 3. So it's 3-1 the count. Nobody down. Gets that one in for a strike. The fastball, something that Massey's relied on heavily here in the first 2 innings. Here it comes, the full count. Payoff pitch is outside, so he walks the second batter. First guy reached on that little infield single, and it's 2 guys on now, nobody out. Familiar spot here for Massey. 2 guys on. Trying to get out of this jam this time without allowing a run. First pitch, kicks and throws. That time in there for a strike. The fastball had him looking that time. So 2 runners on. Massey trying to turn his second double play of the game as that one's fouled off. So a quick 0-2 count here for Lewis, the batter for the Potatoes. Lewis playing left field. Massey gets himself set on the mound. Kicks and throws. Off speed, just misses the outside edge of the strike zone. Ball 1. Nice leave there from Lewis. Infield ready for a weak ground ball as we approach the 1-2 pitch. That one well high, gets away from Bidwell behind the dish. And both runners are going to advance. So first and second turns to third and second. And now it's 2 guys in scoring position with a 2-2 count, nobody down. So the double play ball no longer a possibility here. Massey struggling a little bit trying to regain that confidence on the mound. That one hit straight over to right field. And a bad route. That one gets over the right fielder's head. That's going to score 2 runs. And it's going to be a triple for the Potatoes. 3-1 is the score here in the top of the second inning. That ball should have been caught that time in right field from Bradshaw, but instead, ball gets over the top of his head and scores 2, not helping the pitcher out at all that time. Chase Southern, the 8-hole hitter in here for the Potatoes. That pitch well inside for ball 1. So the Sockeyes haven't seen themselves in a deficit in quite some time. See how they respond here defensively as they try and get their first out of the inning. You can imagine the Sockeyes bullpen probably going to start getting going here. That one pops straight up, but it's going to drift out of play. Hits the stadium seat. And it's strike 1. Two-1 is going to be the count when everybody finds themselves back in their spots. Massey trying to return to the mound. And it's Southern in at the dish for the Potatoes. So 3 runs scored here for the Potatoes in these early innings. That one struck well. Walsh is going to get under it. It's going to be the runner gone from third. Close-ish play, but he's in there standing up. So a sac fly for the first out scores the 3rd run of the inning for the Potatoes, taking a 4-1 lead in the early innings of this July 3rd contest against
number 12, Michael Corkish.
the 13th Competitors League game. Sockeyes now with 1 out. Nobody on. That one hit over to Daniels. Slips through his glove for a single. Going to be turned into a double. Standing up. That one stayed hugging the first base line for another hit. This Potatoes offense seeing Evan Massey really well as Coach Brian Wolf is going to take a second and take a visit with the starting pitcher. Still only 1 guy down. You can imagine that there might be somebody coming in here to replace Massey. Take a second here while they go over some things with a guy on second base. So Coach Wolf electing to count on his guy on the mound to get him out of this inning, only with that 3-run total here. 1 out. Massey looking to get out of this jam the best he can.
Now batting, center fielder, number 19, Caden Menard.
So the lineup flips over here for the Potatoes. Menard in for his second plate appearance. He has not gotten a hit. He was walked in his first appearance. That pitch was away for a ball. That pitch, runner tries to go from second, and he's in there. No trouble. Strike 1, but the runner advances over to third, so it's yet again another guy 90 feet away from the run scoring. Menard licking his chops as he faces the lefty Massey. That one, big swing and a miss that time. Fastball, couldn't catch up to it. So the fan favorite Evan Massey trying to limit this damage here. Infield way in. potentially throw him out at home to prevent the run. That one in there for ball 2. So 2-2 is now the count here. Still only one out and a guy on third base. The Sockeyes having a rough inning here. As that one in the dirt fills the count up. 3-2. Number 19 in at the dish. Evan Massey hoping to get what would be his 27th strikeout of the season. And he does. Backwards K sends him to his dugout. Huge second out that time from Massey to keep any movement on the bases from the Potatoes. And now you're one out away from getting your bats back up. Trying to get yourself back into this game if you're the Sockeyes. That one misses for ball 1. Evan Massey awaiting his 40th pitch of this outing. That one grounded over to the second baseman, Hale, but he fumbles it on the transfer. Infield single scores the 4th run of the inning, and Coach Price can't take it anymore. He's going to have the second mound visit of the inning. Sockeyes, ball just not going their way, and a new pitcher going to come out on the mound. Evan Massey going to take his seat. Not the outing he was hoping for this time. And now stepping out on the mound to get himself warmed here with 2 outs is number 26, Mario DeLeon. We'll be right back here with a break as we let him get warm up on the mound. So DeLeon, wearing number 26, is on the mound here for the Sockeyes. DeLeon's pitched 9.2 innings for the Sockeyes. In those innings, he's racked up 5 strikeouts. That first pitch up and away for ball 1. So DeLeon, when you take a look at him, he's not somebody who's going to blow a fastball by you. He sits high 7s, low 8s in terms of velocity. But the lefty works in a ton of really good movement on his off-speed stuff, and that's how he gets you to swing and miss. But really, his outs come from light ground balls, weak ground balls, hit towards his infielders. Pops some people up as he does that time for a foul ball. See if he can do any of those things to get that third out to finally get the Sockeyes out of this really rough inning. 4 runners scored for the Potatoes as that one in, ball 3. So it's 3-1 the count. This time, DeLeon facing the catcher Juan. 0 for 1 on the day. That pitch in there for a strike. DeLeon gets himself to a full count here. The payoff pitch coming on its way here. Winds, kicks, throws. That one hits straight over to the short. Takahashi can't put a glove on it. Bounces right over the top. So it's going to be a single through the infield. That time for Juan. Runner from first advances to second. And this inning still going for the Potatoes. Have not seen this kind of offensive production from them in either of the 2 games that the Sockeyes have faced them in. Like I said, the Sockeyes held them to 4 runs or less in both of those games. They've already scored 5 here. DeLeon, first pitch in there for a strike. So the 0-1 as he repositions his foot up there on the mound. Sets himself up. The delivery tries to get a little bit of right to left movement, but that one's well inside for ball 1. 1-1 even count here for the 4-hole hitter, Pohl. Pohl is playing right field for the Potatoes. That pitch gets away from the catcher, can't find it, so both guys advance on that pitch from DeLeon. The ball 2. Wild pitch there from DeLeon. Pohl steps back in the box with a 2-1 count. 2 guys in scoring position. Hits that one, lifted over to center field. Walsh able to step under it. And there we go, get that third out. So a really rough inning from the Sockeyes. 4 runs scored. That tie game turns into a 5-1 deficit. If I'm not mistaken, the largest deficit of this home stretch for the Sockeyes. Trying to recover as we enter the bottom of the second inning. The Sockeyes bats will step back up. Be right back here with more action from Wolf Field. So here we go, bottom of the second inning. Sockeyes trying to get some runs back here.
Sawtooth Sockeyes.
Leading it off is going to be number
Austin
1,
Takahashi.
playing short today for the Sockeyes, Austin Takahashi. Takahashi attends Portland University in Portland, Oregon. Stepping in here, awaiting the first pitch. And he fouls that one off. Just a little bit tardy that time. Takahashi was one of the players of the game in yesterday's game against the Bluebirds. But it wasn't for his bat, it was for his arm on the bump. Went 3 innings, struck out 6 guys, did not allow a run. That one weakly hit, but it's going to be in there between the first and second baseman. So leadoff guy gets on base. Hopefully a spark here for the Sockeyes as they have to close in on this 4-run deficit in the early innings here. In stepping to try and contribute his part of this offense is number 17, Nate Galusha. Galusha playing third base today for the Sockeyes. Galusha, another fan favorite, attended Northwest Nazarene University in Nampa, Idaho. Off-speed pitch, not doing his catcher any favors as Takahashi easily in there at second base on the slow pitch. Galusha now looking at the 1-0. Not sure if he was supposed to take that base. Coach Price emphatically signaling to him. Wild pitch, he goes. Close play over at third, but he's in there. Ball gets away from the catcher, so just like that, Takahashi taking 2 bags, advances from first to third. Nobody down here. It's only the second batter of the inning, but they're 90 feet away from cutting into this lead, or cutting into this deficit, I should say. That pitch in the dirt gets by, wild pitch, and just like that, Austin Takahashi comes across to score the second base, or to score the second run of the game here for the Sockeyes in the bottom second. So a stolen base, pass ball, and a wild pitch manufactures a run for the Sockeyes. 3-0 is the count here. Manning throws that one right down the middle to try and get himself back in the count. Seeing if he can climb the ladder and even or fill this count up at 3-2. Galusha awaiting the 3-1 pitch. Manning steps off the rubber, resets himself. So nobody on. Galusha trying to get himself back on. And just like that, ball 4. Take your base. Nate Galusha reaches on a walk. So nobody down here. The third batter of the inning is going to be number 10, catching for the Sockeyes, Zane Bidwell. Bidwell watches ball 1 get away from the catcher again. So mental mistakes here from the Potatoes, allowing the Sockeyes to waltz around the bases. Mound visit here for the Potatoes. Pitcher and catcher not really on the same page here. A lot of balls spiked in the dirt, getting away from the catcher. And the Sockeyes feeling pretty good here in this inning. Coach Price with a few words for Nate Galusha over there at second base. Not much to say if you're the Potatoes other than they got to clean it up here if they want to hold on to this lead, because this Sockeyes offense can come and score runs in a hurry. Feels like could be the start of one of those kinds of innings. With a guy on second, nobody down, already scored 1 run. And Bidwell, the 9-hole, looking to advance or score Galusha over there at second base. It's a 1-0 count here for the catcher. Manning getting ready to throw his 44th pitch of his start, and it's on the way. Ball 2. Again, the catcher cannot put a glove on it, so Galusha waltzes in over there to third base. 2 wild pitches get him from first to second and then second to third. So 90 feet away from the second run of the inning. Sockeyes in here cutting down on this lead with 1 run scored. 90 feet away from getting their second run of the inning. So 3-0 is the count now to Zane Bidwell. Manning winds, kicks, throws. And that one low, take your base, Bidwell. 4-pitch walk for number 10. So it's runners on the corners now for the Sockeyes as we await the next batter stepping in.
Attending Northwest Nazarene University.
And here the Sockeyes lineup flips over. It's number 2, Carter Walsh, leading in here, trying to lead this charge and continue this big inning for the Sockeyes. Runners on the corners, and still a 0 in the out column. The Potatoes really struggling. And ball 1. Walsh was walked in his first count, or in his first at bat. Awaiting the 1-ball pitch. Bidwell dancing over there at first. The pitch gets by the catcher yet again, and he's over there at second base. So runners 2 in scoring position this time for the Sockeyes. Carter Walsh awaits that one, and it's in the dirt for ball 3. Seven straight balls for Manning, and yet no activity in the bullpen for the Potatoes. Touched on it a little bit earlier, but these competitors league teams have no depth when it comes to pitching. You have to imagine that they're just waiting for Manning to tap out and put in likely a position player in at the bump. 3-0 is the count here. Nobody down. Huge inning awaiting the Sockeyes. Finally throws a strike. That one kisses the top left corner of the strike zone. Carter Walsh trying to drive in what would be 2 runs if he puts a ball into play for a hit. Hits that one. Weak grounder over to short. Only going to get 1 if it's in time. But the wheels from Carter Walsh on display. Scores Galusha from third. Carter Walsh able to leg that one out for an infield single. Carter Walsh and his speed unmatched. You have to field that ball cleanly and throw it as hard as you've ever thrown a ball over to first base if you want to get him out. Nobody down. Vacancy over there at second base. Wild pitch over the wild throw over the first baseman's head is going to get Walsh in there at second, and the run from third scores. So 5-4 now, just like that. The Sockeyes putting themselves in a great spot. Still nobody out for the Sockeyes. Runner on second base is the fastest Sockeye, Carter Walsh. And in at the plate, number 5, Jack Hale. That pitch low for ball 1. Tried to pick off Walsh, keeping him honest at first, and it gets well over Southern's head at first. And Walsh easily gets in there at second with his speed. That ball hit right back up to the pitcher. Gonna try and tag Walsh. Tags him, trying to advance at third, but Hale switches spots with Walsh at second base. So one guy down. Finally, the Potatoes able to get their first out of the inning, and Hale advances over to second base. Fielder's choice allows him residency over there at second as they tagged Walsh out. So 5-4 the score here as Ryder Cutlip in here at the dish for his second plate appearance. He's 1 for 1, had the first hit of the game for the Sockeyes. Dribbled that one between second and first base. That pitch called a strike. Cutlip looking to get his second hit of the game. He's got a guy in scoring position at second base. Long inning here for the Sockeyes. Already scored 3 runs. That pitch low and away for ball 1. So Manning getting ready to throw his 55th pitch through 2 innings. 1.1 inning. We're here in the second inning. Cutlip swings at that pitch to make it 1-2. So the 1-2 count here. One guy down. Cutlip takes time, steps back in the box. Still got his buddy over there at second base. Cutlip trying to go 2 for 2 as Manning throwing his last few pitches. Some activity in that bullpen. Likely coming in as soon as they can get him in. 2-2 is the count now. Cutlip swinging that bat around. Waiting for Manning to come set. Off-speed pitch gets away from him. And it's 3-2 now for Ryder Cutlip. Guy on second base. See what Manning elects to go to here. The payoff pitch on its way. Hale takes off. Swing and a miss. Thought he might have fouled that one off, but it was strike 3, advancing Hale over to third base. So Daniels, number 23, steps back in the box for his second plate appearance. He was walked in his first appearance. Huge swing and a miss. Runner on third base is Jack Hale, 90 feet away from scoring the tying run in this big inning for the Sockeyes. The Potatoes likely going to leave him in at the mound, see if he can't get this third out. Wild pitch. Hale didn't trust his speed. That ball went all the way to the backstop. feel like he definitely could have scored there, but instead he's going to stay over there at third base. Daniels told him to try and come and score that tying run. Wanted to play it safe and stay over there at third base. So 1-1 now here for the Utah Tech commit Grady Daniels. Daniels fouls that one off. 1-2 is the count now. So 2 guys down here. Potatoes trying to get out of this really rough inning. Here it comes. Daniels drives that one over to second. And falling onto the ground, making that play, is the second baseman, Corkish. So ugly inning from the Potatoes. 3-run score from the Sockeyes. Able to cut the lead down to 1. De Leon will return to the mound as we get to the top of the 3rd inning here in Wolf Field. We'll be back after this message from our sponsors. So back here in the top of the 3rd inning, as I touched on a little bit earlier, Mario De Leon still in at the mound for the Sockeyes. That pitch just outside. De Leon got the Sockeyes out of that jam as that one's grounded over to third base. Galusha fields it cleanly and throws it over to Daniels for a quick first out. Galusha plays anywhere in the infield. This time he's over there at third base. So now, in at the dish, Gage Summerfield, wearing number 23. Summerfield plays shortstop for the Potatoes. Nice pitch there from De Leon. He was tardy on that one, so 0-1 early, getting ahead of that count. The lefty kicks, throws again. Another fastball in there for a strike. 0-2 now. See if De Leon goes to his off-speed stuff with this 0-2 pitch. Got room to work. Here it comes. Indeed, the off-speed pitch, but that time misses high and away. So Summerfield swinging his bat. Awaits the 1-2 offering. Off-speed pitch gets him swinging and missing. Mario De Leon looking good up there at the mound. Gets his 2nd out of the inning, that time on a swing and a miss. Had control all the way through that count.
Now batting, left fielder, number 8, Brayton Lewis.
So now it's the left fielder, Lewis, taking on De Leon. Another swing and a miss. De Leon with 2 outs, looking untouchable here. Trying to get this inning over with. stopping the Potatoes from scoring any more runs and give his bats the chance to come back up and tie it or take the lead. Here we go with the 1-1 pitch that time. Lost control of that one. Outside, ball 2. 2-1 is the count. DeLeon keeping that tempo up. Swing and a miss that time. Ugly swing from number 8. And DeLeon's still looking extremely comfortable up there. Here comes the 2-2 pitch. Looking to get him out. Not enough break on that pitch to find the strike zone. Leaves it high, 3-2, with 2 outs for the batter Lewis. That one lifted straight up into shallow.
Okay, somebody call it.
Oop. A collision that time from second and short, but Takahashi able to put the glove on it for the 3rd out of the inning. Sockeyes bats are going to be coming back up with a chance to tie it or take the lead. A nice inning from number 26, DeLeon, on the mound that time for the Sockeyes. We'll be right back. Bottom of the 3rd inning, Sockeyes still with a deficit, but it's only 1 run this time. Stepping in the box for the 2nd time is Kason O'Neill.
Leading off the bottom of the 3rd inning, attend the College of Southern Idaho, the designated hitter number 15, Kason O'Neill.
O'Neill 0 for 1 thus far, facing the new pitcher, Van Lucian. Owen Manning only able to go for 2 innings through over 60 pitches.
64.
Next pitch swung on, lifted straight back to center field, but right into the glove of Menard. So O'Neill retired that time. Nice swing, but unable to find any grass in the outfield for the 1st out, and it's a quick one. So now, stepping in, attending Oregon Tech, is Dane Bradshaw. Bradshaw playing right field today for the Sockeyes. That pitch in there for strike 1. So Bradshaw awaiting the 0-1 pitch. That one misses outside for ball 1. When you look at Bradshaw and where he's hitting the ball, he's heavy on the pull, likes to drive that ball into left field, and when he does it, you know, because it's a big swing, he's got a lot of pop at the plate. Trying to get on base here. He was unable to do so in his 1st at-bat. Here comes from Van Lucian. That one lifted high, straight up to center field. It's going to be a tough play to make in pursuit, but he puts the glove on it. So 2 outs, both credited to Menard. 2 pop-ups there from the Sockeyes. And in steps the shortstop, number 1, Austin Takahashi.
Portland, the shortstop, number 1, Austin Takahashi.
Takahashi 1 for 1 on the day as he stares at strike 1 going by. 2 outs here. Sockeyes still down 1 run, looking to potentially tie it up or score or take the lead if they can get something going with 2 outs. Here it comes from Van Lushen. That one tried to check his swing but puts it in play. Third baseman can't field it cleanly, so an infield single from Takahashi. Didn't even mean to, but he finds himself over there at first base. Sometimes the ball just goes in play and it works out for you. That time it did for Takahashi. He's 2 for 2 now on the day. Catcher pleading that that ball was fouled. Umpire's not budging on that call, so Takahashi will remain on first base.
Attending Kansas Wesleyan, third baseman, number 17.
So
Nate
now
Galusha.
it's number 17, Nate Galusha. Drew a walk in his last appearance on 4 pitches. That one a swing and a miss. Galusha playing third base today. He's already seen some action in the infield. Awaiting the 0-1 offering from Van Lushen. Takahashi takes off. It's going to be a close play, but they were not able to put the tag on him. So Takahashi, with his second stolen bag of the night, advances himself over to second base, 180 feet away from scoring the tying run. See if Galusha can help advance him with 2 outs. Here we go, that pitch inside. Galusha just watches that one go by him. 2-1 is the count here for number 17. Watches that one low. And just like that, the count is 3-1 in favor of the hitter, Nate Galusha. Sockeyes offense trying to get a little 2-out magic. And he watches that one go by. So 2 walks now for Galusha. That time it took him 5 pitches instead of 4. But he'll take first base as Takahashi still occupies second. Now it's number 10, Zane Bidwell, in at the dish.
Now batting, attending Umpqua College, the catcher, number 10, Zane Bidwell.
Bidwell attending Umpqua College in here for his second appearance. Drew a walk in his last AB. Swings and misses at the first pitch for strike 1. Same situation this time. There's just a guy on first. Puts a ball into the outfield. He could likely score the speedy Takahashi from second. Both the runners go. Bad throw from the catcher. Throwing error is going to get Takahashi in there from third. Both guys stole. That one spiked in front of the third baseman. Skips over his head. Takahashi ties the game up 5-5. A lot of sloppy play here from the catcher, Juan. And the Sockeyes even it up 5-5. 2-out baseball has been a positive for the Sockeyes offensively throughout the season. No different here. There's still a guy in scoring position for Bidwell. That one driven really well over to short. Nice play to stop that one. Going to be close. Can't pick it off. The first baseman can't make the play. So it'll be an infield single for Zane Bidwell. Runners now on the corners as Galusha able to advance to third that time with that ball put in play.
Now batting, attending Northwest Nazarene University, center fielder, number 2, Carter Walsh.
In for the third time is number 2, Carter Walsh. Walsh is 1 for 1. He's also drawn a walk in this game. The pitcher is going to check on Bidwell, or Bradshaw, or no, Bidwell, over at first base, expecting Coach Price to try and send his guy from first to second to get 2 guys in scoring position. Swing and a miss. That time from Walsh. Makes it a 0-1 count for the speedy utility man, Carter Walsh. Runners on the corners here as the 0-1 pitch comes. Bidwell gets caught going, but no throw from the catcher in fear of Galusha taking home plate. So Bidwell kind of side shuffle trots in there to second base. That catcher not trusting his arm at all. Thrown a lot of wild throws today. Probably a wise move to just eat that one and let him advance to second. Nice drive there from Walsh. It's going to be a tough play from the center fielder, but he puts the glove on it for the third out. Carter Walsh goes down, swinging that time. Leaves 2 guys on, but not after the Sockeyes are able to tie it up in the bottom of the third inning. Top fourth is upon us. The Potatoes, scoreless in their last inning, trying to score a run as we re-enter the ball game. Top of the fourth. Be back here with more action from Wolf after this.
Thank you for your cooperation.
Top of the fourth inning here for the Sockeyes. The lefty DeLeon still on the bump for the Sox. Had a really good, productive top of the third as he gets a foul ball that time. Looking to do something similar here. 3 up, 3 down for him last time. Here we go, the 0-1 offering. Popped up over to second base. Hale didn't have to move an inch. So it's another quick out here. DeLeon doing his job, making easy plays for the infielders.
Now batting, second baseman, number 12, Michael Corkish.
Now Corkish steps in for the Potatoes. Potatoes offense stagnant since that huge second inning. A lot of that credit goes to the man on the mound as that pitch fouled off by Corkish. Corkish is 1 for 1 on the day. trying to get this Potatoes offense woken back up. That ball way out in front of it. Takahashi uses his speed to get to that one. So a pop-up to second for the first out, and then pops out to short for that second out. Takahashi with a nifty play there, helping out his pitcher, DeLeon.
Batting center fielder, number 19, Keaton Menard.
Here we go, quickly. That one lifted way high. DeLeon not even going to look at it as he trusted Walsh, and the play made. So 3 pop-outs from DeLeon. Like I said, he's not going to overpower you and strike you out very often. But the contact that he creates makes it an easy job for his fielders. 3 up, 3 down. So we'll be back with the bottom of the 4th inning. So now it's Jack Hale, wearing number 5, stepping in to lead off the inning for the Sockeyes. Able to score 1 run to tie the ball game up in that last half inning. Stares at ball 1. Jack Hale, taking a look at his season. He's batting .320. He's got the most plate appearances of any Sockeye. So he's an absolute dude at the dish. If you're looking for offense, he's your guy. Fouls that one off. And on top of that offense, he's an absolute lockdown defender in the infield. Plays anywhere from second short to third, and a ball hit to him is almost a certain out. 2-1 is the count here as Hale awaits the next pitch from Van Lucien. That one well outside, so make it 3-1 the count now for Jack Hale. Here we go, wind and pitch. That one grounded foul straight into the dugout of the Sockeyes. 3-2 is going to be the count now here for Jack Hale. Full counts, nothing new to the Sockeyes offense thus far. Here comes the payoff pitch from Van Lucien. Driven pretty well, gets past the third baseman. That one's going to be extra bases if he elects to go. Close play over there at second. In there. Lead off double for Jack Hale. Talked about his offense, spoke it into existence that time. Extra base hitting machine. Jack Hale able to extend that one all the way to second base. Sockeyes looking to take this lead for the first time in the game. What a better way to get it going than a double from Jack Hale. In stepping is number 20, Cutlip. Cutlip 1 for 2 on the day. Talked about Jack Hale's offensive production. Can't say Ryder Cutlip's name without mentioning offense. He's batting .409 on the season. An absolutely absurd number to be keeping up, especially with the amount of times that he's come up to bat. He's leading the Sockeyes in batting average. Well, when you discount the 1 for 1 from starting pitcher Dylan Gardner. Cutlip awaits the 2-0 pitch. Swung on that time. Cutlip will be a senior at Owyhee High School in Boise, Idaho this next season, but after that he will be attending Gonzaga University in Spokane, Washington, one of the more premier programs in Division I baseball. Runner on second for the Gonzaga commit. That one well inside. He's going to take a step back. Taps his bat at the plate as he awaits the hitter's count here. Put a ball in play. You've got some speed over there at second. Here we go from Van Lushen, looping off speed. Not even close to the zone, so Cutlip's going to take his base on a 5-pitch walk. Potatoes bullpen already getting active. Van Lushen just crossed that 30-pitch mark.
First baseman, number 23, Grady Daniels.
And here comes the first baseman, number 23, Daniels.
Gosh, I can never say it. I didn't hear it all the time at church.
Daniels fouls that one straight back into the backstop for strike one. Stepping back in, Daniels committed to Utah Tech University. Another guy who has gotten his fair share of extra base hits on the season. He's got 7 doubles under his belt, looking to do some damage here at the dish. Fouls that one straight back. So it's 2 foul balls now for Daniels. That one lifted high. So 2 guys on, nobody out here for 23. Drives that one straight over to the first baseman. Can't field it cleanly. Can't field it at all. And Daniels hits that ball right to first base and turns it into an error from the first baseman. Excuse me. So everybody advances to load the bases for the Sockeyes. And in stepping number 15, Kason O'Neal. Touches his bat to the home plate as he tries to come in here to get his first hit of the night. He's 0 for 2. But what better spot to get your first hit than a bases loaded situation?
Now attending the College of Southern Idaho, the designated hitter, number 15.
Takes a step out. That first pitch in there for a strike. O'Neal came out of the season super hot with his bat. Had the highest batting average on the Sockeyes for the first couple of weeks. Swings and misses at that one, or fouled that one off slightly. He settled down a little bit as the season's progressed, trying to get that bat going again. 0-2 count with nobody down, bases loaded for the DH. That one left high and away. Sockeyes fans getting into it here with bases loaded. Light blooper straight to second base. No double play, but a first out for the Sockeyes. And it's a weak hit over to second base to retire O'Neal for the third time. Here we go, Dane Bradshaw now in for the Sockeyes. Still only one out. Bases loaded, that one. First pitch swinging, skied high, but the second baseman able to put the glove on it for the second out. Sockeyes with a bases loaded situation would be
Now batting, attending the University of Portland.
a travesty to say the least.
Takahashi.
With a chance to take the lead, bases loaded, do not want to leave everybody out there stranded. Takahashi could be the guy to bust this one open. It's a 2-for-2 day for him. Looking really good at the dish. Trying to add an RBI to his day. That one inside for ball one. 1-1 is the count. Two guys down. It's Jack Hale over there at third, Cutlip at second, and Daniels at first base. That one from Van Lushen in the dirt. The catcher able to keep that one in front of him that time. Van Lushen just crossed that 40-pitch mark, and the bullpen for the Potatoes really starting to get warm now. That pitch checked his swing. Ball 3 now. 3-1. And the Sockeyes would gladly take a walk to score that 6th run of the game. See if Takahashi can draw that walk. (3-1) in there for a strike. Takahashi thought he was going to get to take a walk, but it's 3-2 now for what feels like the 10th time the Sockeyes facing a full count. Coach Price signaling to everybody on base, take off, get as much as you can. Payoff pitch on its way. Inside, Austin Takahashi drawing the walk to score the 6th run of the game. The Potatoes giving up the lead to the Sockeyes, so it's 5-6 now. Potatoes, stagnant offense and an electric offense from the Sockeyes. The lethal combination allows the Sockeyes to take the lead for the first time in this game. Now stepping in is Galusha. The third baseman swings on that first pitch, so he'll be down 0-1. Still a big at-bat with 3 guys on with bases loaded. Galusha 0 for 0, so he's walked twice. One of them was on 5 pitches, one of them on 4. Huge hack that time from the third baseman, trying to score what would be the 7th run of the game for the Sockeyes. 0-2, a deficit, 2 guys down. Here comes Van Lushen, and 3 pitches, 3 swings, struck him out. So 3 guys are going to have to be left stranded that time for the Sockeyes, but not after they're able to take the lead 6-5. Be back here with more action from Wolf as we enter the top of the 5th inning. Top of the 5th inning, Sockeyes electing to leave Mario DeLeon on the mound, considering
Leading off the top of the 5th
how
inning.
efficient he's
For the
been at getting
Potatoes,
quick outs.
the
Only threw
designated
5
hitter, number 3,
pitches
Landon Cheney.
in that last inning. Only throw 5 pitches and get 3 outs, you get to stay on the mound. See if he can keep it rolling here. First pitch is in there for a strike. Here comes the 0-1 pitch from number 26. That one fouled straight back. So doing the exact same thing he was doing in that last inning, getting guys to 2 strikes really quickly, getting them on their heels, and then putting that off-speed pitch in there to create weak contact, or in that case, no contact. Swing and a miss that time. Retires Cheney. That 2-for-2 day turns into a 2-for-3 day with that strikeout. First out, another fast one. That one only on 3 pitches.
The catcher, number 22, Brooks Vaughn.
So now here comes the catcher, Brooks Vaughn. He's had a busy day behind the dish, trying to chase after wild pitches. Swing and a miss, and DeLeon looks just untouchable right now at the mound. 0-1. 1 out, on its way here. Winds and throws. In there, another off-speed pitch. Before he stepped in, I talked about his off-speed pitches are what gets you, and when they're on like this, good luck. That one just outside. Tried to get him to fish for that one. So here we go. 1-2 is the count now. First batter down on a strikeout. And he'll do it again. 2 Ks. 2 batters for Mario DeLeon. Absolutely cooking up on the mound. Coach Price has to be thrilled with the outing that he has thus far. Juan retired on the K. And here comes Pohl, the right fielder. He's 0-for-2. And the way DeLeon's looking, it's going to be 0-for-3. And that one lifted straight back. DeLeon, again, doesn't even look at it. And Carter Walsh puts the squeeze on it. DeLeon, incredible inning that time. Incredible 2 innings. See if that'll be it for him or if he'll come back in. 3 up, 3 down. Entering the bottom of the 5th inning, the Sockeyes have a 1-run lead, looking to extend that with the bats coming back up. We'll be back with more action here from Caldwell shortly.
The bottom of the fifth
So
inning.
stepping in the
For
box
Sockeyes
here,
attending Umpqua College,
leading off
catcher
the
number
bottom of
10,
the fifth inning,
Zane Bidwell.
catching for the Sockeyes is Zane Bidwell. That one popped straight up, foul territory. Nobody's going to be able to put a glove on that. So Bidwell is going to stay alive after that foul ball.
Number 10, Daniel Cormilo.
Listen, Daddy, check.
And it's in on the mound for the Potatoes. Pitching change, now in Daniel Cormilo. Bidwell 1 for 1 on the day, looking to turn that into a 2 for 2 day. Here we go with the 0-1 pitch from Cormilo. That one in the dirt for ball 1. Winding, kicking, throwing. That one fouled straight back. So 2 foul balls in this count. 2 strikes, 1 ball. Bidwell stepping back in the box. Looking to get the Sockeyes going, leading off here. Fouls that one back again. So 3 foul balls here for number 10, the catcher. Bidwell, the 9-hole hitter, leaves that one well outside. 2-2 now. Checks his swing, but fouls that one off. So the Sockeyes have scored every single inning at least 1 run. Knock on wood. See if they can do that again here. Bidwell trying to get him going with a leadoff hit, but instead he's going to take that one on the leg. He'll take his base on a hit by pitch to get the Sockeyes a runner early here, leading off. Reaches first. Lineup flips over, and back steps up Carter Walsh, number 2.
Now batting, attending Northwest Nazarene University.
Walsh 1 for 2.
Fielder number 2, Carter.
Flew out
Walsh.
in his last AB. Walsh with plenty of action over there in center field. Had the out to end the inning in both the top of the 5th and the top of the 4th. Leaves that one outside for ball 1. Bidwell over there at first base. Not a ton of speed, so we'll see if Coach Price trusts him to try and take a base and advance over to second or not. That pitch framed for a strike by Juan. Sockeyes and the Potatoes still neck and neck here. Only a 1-run cushion. The Sockeyes desperately trying to add on to that. Walsh shows bunt and then pulls back and leaves ball 2. So Coach Price really thinking about manufacturing this run, trying to get Bidwell to advance to second as the heart of the lineup comes in for the Sockeyes. There we go. Bidwell's going to go, but Walsh fouls that one straight back. Stepping back in the box. Facing a 2-2 count now. Walsh attending Northwest Nazarene University in Nampa, Idaho. Played his last season at Timberline High School in Boise. His freshman season will be starting in the spring. Swing and a miss that time. Retires Walsh for the first out of the inning for the Sockeyes. Stepping up now is Jack Hale.
Attending the College of Southern Nevada.
Hale attends the College of Southern Nevada.
Jack Hale.
He's a Nevada native, made the commute here to play for the Sockeyes and Coach Price. And check on Bidwell over there at first base. So it's 1 guy down now after that strikeout from Walsh. Bidwell keeping close to first base as to not get picked off. That pitch is outside for a ball. Hale doubled in his last plate appearance. Hit a ball grounded over past the third baseman. It hugged the left field foul line all the way down, in giving him enough time to advance to second. Stepping back in, now it's facing a 2-0 count. Bottom of the fifth inning, the Sockeyes still young here with only one out. Bidwell's going to go, throw well in time. Going to try and get out of this pickle. Ducks, but gets tagged for the out. So Coach Price not happy over there on the third base line, having a word with his dugout. Hesitated on that steal. Swing and a miss that time from Hale. So it'll be a 3-1 count now with 2 outs. Sockeyes really trying to keep that trend of scoring 1 run an inning, but it's going to be it'll have to be with 2 outs. Hale takes his base that time, 4-1. It's a 5-pitch at bat, advancing number 5 over to first base. And in steps the left fielder, Ryder Cutlip. Pinch runner here is Lance Anderson, taking the spot of Jack Hale.
In to run at first base for Jack Hale.
Cutlip 1 for 2.
Columbia Basin Community College. Number 3, Lance
Taking
Anderson.
2
Now
bases
right.
on walks.
Pending Gonzaga University left fielder number 20, Ryder Cutlip.
So I talked a little bit about Cutlip's batting average, but when you look at where he's hitting the ball, he's a gap-to-gap hitter. He can put it anywhere he needs to. Really good at driving balls to left field, opposite field, but that time he's just going to take a base on a hit by pitch. First pitch of the at-bat hits Cutlip on the lower leg. With 2 outs now, the Sockeyes trying to get some of that 2-out magic I talked about. We've seen it earlier in this game. That pitch high from Cormilo.
Now batting, attending Utah Tech University.
In at the plate is number 23, Grady Daniels. Daniels is 0 for 2 in the game, trying to get himself going. Leaves that one for ball 1. Thought that one was outside, but nice frame job from Juan behind the dish. Swing and a miss. Daniels comes undone with that swing, makes it a 1-2 count. Wind really blowing hard from left to right. Could be a factor in this game. Ball's driven to right field, might have a better chance of getting out, especially when there's a lefty in at the dish like Daniels, who does favor the pull when he puts the ball in play. Cormilo sets himself up and leaves that one outside. So the sidestep from Cormilo, instead of the big wind, trying to keep the base runners honest. Here we go with the full count yet again in this game. This time to Daniels. Cormilo pays off pitch. Outside, loads the bases. So a full count turns into a walk for Grady Daniels to load the bases for the Sockeyes. Cason O'Neill, 0 for 3. Really desperately trying to get his bat going. His plate struggles have continued into this game. That one outside. Was faced with a full count, with bases loaded in his last plate appearance. Unable to capitalize, trying to change his fate here. He watches as the count evens up at 1-1. Cormilo winds and throws this time. Swung and a miss. So the 1-0 turns into a 1-2 count after 2 strikes. O'Neal trying to score a run here. Base hit scores. Here it comes. That one driven into center field, and it's going to find the glove of the center fielder. He just cannot catch a break. That's the second time he's flown out to that center fielder. And the Sockeyes are going to go down with bases loaded, stranding all 3 of the runners. Sockeyes will be back in the top of the 6th inning, trying to keep this defensive streak going. We'll be right back shortly after this message. Top of the 6th inning, a couple of changes for the Sockeyes. First and foremost, on the bump now, number 11, Ryan Towers. First pitch on its way from the lefty in there. Fastball looking firm today from Towers. Catching that ball is the substitute catcher, Kosei Nakahara. And replacing Jack Hale at second base is number 3, Lance Anderson. So Towers trying to strike out that first batter. That one with some heat to it, but it's spiked in the dirt. So Towers has pitched 10.2 innings for the Sockeyes. One of the latecomers. He joined at the end of the first homestand. That one weakly grounded, but it's going to go foul. Towers, one of the best pitchers on this Sockeyes team, plays at Loyola Marymount University, a really prestigious baseball college. They won the WCC in their last season. Super solid mid-major team. Towers, the 1-2 pitch on the way. That one well high, got away from him that time for ball 2.
That kid's is why you don't stand against the dead.
Right?
So talking about Towers a little bit more, diving into the stats.
Yeah, I've seen him better.
In those, or talk about it after that time, that ball hit right in front of the right fielder for a base hit. Ansel Dua gets it done that time for the Potatoes. But looking at some of the stats for Towers, in those 10.2 innings, he's only allowed 5 hits. That'll be the 6th. Struck out 16 guys, So we've seen a little bit of that velo from him early. Big put away pitch is that fastball. Looking to do his job here as he faces the second batter. Can't catch up to that fastball that time. Nobody down. One guy on. Here comes the pitch from Towers. Again, can't catch up to that fastball. So it's 0-2 early here. Towers looking to add to that strikeout total, make it his 17th if he can get it here. Comes set. The lefty takes a glance at first. Winds and throws. Tries to catch the inside edge of the plate, but that one's out or inside too far for a ball. So 5-6 is the lead. 5-6 is also the hit and the difference as he strikes him out that time on the fastball.
Now batting, left fielder, number 8.
So Towers retires that second batter that time with a fastball. Blows by him. Here it comes. And it's low that time for a ball. So to go from DeLeon, who's throwing probably high 7s to low 8s, and then Towers, who's just pumping them in right now, definitely going to be hard for these batters to adjust to. And you've seen it here early. These guys are all tardy on that fastball. And if it's working, you can imagine he's just going to keep going to it. Sets himself up here. The 1-1 on its way. Making these guys look silly. Bad swing and a miss that time from the Potatoes batter. Steps back in the box. Lewis trying his best to not strike out the Towers, but it feels all but inevitable. This one in the dirt. Gets away from Nakahara. Rounding second, Azaldua is going to advance all the way over to third base. So Towers, that fastball, spiked it right in the dirt, and then Nakahara just straight up could not find that baseball. Two is the count now. Lewis still on his heels, however. Towers with a command has looked commanding on the mound. One guy down, looking to get his second out here. Trying to agree on a pitch with Nakahara. Winds and throws. Fouls that one off. So we'll do the 2-2 again when Lewis steps back in the box. Fun fact about Towers, his dad played in the show. He was on the New York Yankees for a short stint. And I believe he won a World Series with the Yankees as he fouls that one back. His father was also a pitcher, if I'm not mistaken. So the Loyola Marymount man on the mound. 2-2 count. Pitch on its way. Struck him out. There it is. Felt inevitable, and it was. Trying to relay some signals to the next batter, but feels futile. Towers looking incredible on the mound.
Now batting, pinch hitter, number 11.
So
Cooper
2 outs.
Dalton.
Here comes the pinch hitter, Cooper Dalton. Not a friendly arm to face in your first at-bat. That one gets away from him. It's going to be a close play. They're going to get the out at home. Nice play from Nakahara. That's one way to get the third out. Scoops it over to Towers. Sockeyes get out of that inning and keep the lead 5-6. Be back here in the bottom of the 6th to see if the Sockeyes can get those bats going and score another run. Be back after this break from our sponsors. So Sockeyes
Leading off
offense
the bottom
back
of the
up.
sixth inning,
This time leading it
for the
off is the
Sockeyes,
pinch hitter,
pinch hitter, number 25,
number 25, Kyler
Saunders.
Saunders. Saunders awaits that first pitch, and it's low. So Saunders, attending Northwest Nazarene University, batting just a hair under 200 thus far in the season. And he pops that one straight up. First baseman under it, puts the squeeze on it. So a quick out for the Potatoes that time to get the first Sockeye down. Now steps in number 1, Austin Takahashi.
Batting, attending the University of Portland, the shortstop, number 1, Austin
Takahashi, 2 for 2 on the day. But he also drew that walk to get the runner in to take the lead. That one outside for ball 1. So the Potatoes took the lead really early, but the response from the Sockeyes was extremely positive. The defense and the pitching staff really started to shut them down, and then the offense got going to tie this game and then eventually take the lead. Talk fouls that one straight back for strike 2. Excuse me. Lots of railroad activity here at Wolf Field. A typical occurrence. This one in there. Strike 3 that time. Got caught looking. So 2 outs now. Sockeyes third batter, Nate Galusha, rocking number 17, comes up to the plate. Galusha
now batting,
played his last season at Northwest Nazarene University, but he will be attending Kansas Wesleyan for his first time in this next season. That one outside, ball 1. So 2 outs now for Galusha. On the day, Galusha is 0 for 1. Worked his fair amount of walks, trying to do so here as he gets ahead of the count 2-0. That pitch straight in the dirt, so 3-0 count. Here it comes. The 3-0 count to Nate Galusha on its way from Cormilo in the dirt. So that's his second 4-ball walk. 3 walks on the day for Galusha. Scared to throw the ball to him. And here comes number 4, Kosei Nakahara.
now batting, attending Kobe University in Japan.
Nakahara
Catcher, number 4,
substituted
Kosei Nakahara.
in for Bidwell, playing the catcher position. Nakahara is from Japan, one of 2 Japanese imports for the Sockeyes. The other, of course, being starting pitcher Riku Kanda. So Cormilo throws that one in for a strike. So 1-1 is the count. Nakahara attending Kobe University in Japan. Nakahara awaits the 1-1 pitch. That one away and low. So 2-1 is going to be the count now. You're going to check on the runner over there at first. A little bit of tumbling from the first baseman. 2-1 now for number 4. Sockeyes got 2 guys down, still trying to add on to this lead. Don't think that they feel comfortable with a 1-run lead to this team, who's shown that they can get offense going if the pitching isn't right. 3-1 on its way. Driven well. Gets past the third baseman. Base hit for Kosei Nakahara in his first plate appearance. So both guys are going to advance that time. So guy on second, guy on first now. For the next batter, this time it's Carter Walsh. As the lineup
Now batting.
turns over
Attending
again.
Northwest Nazarene University. Center fielder number 2, Carter Walsh.
Walsh is 1 for 3 on the day. Stepping in with a guy in scoring position. Leaves that one just high. Nice leave from Walsh. Tempting pitch that time.
Yeah, I don't know where they learned strips on.
So Cormilo just threw his 41st pitch. That one was his 42nd, fouled straight back by Walsh. Sockeyes doing their best job to drain this Potatoes team of all of their pitching. Working deep into counts. Galusha's going to go with little contest. Throw is not even going to be close to in time. Galusha advances to third. And now he's 90 feet away with number 2, Carter Walsh, trying to get his first RBI. Sockeyes stolen 7 bags today. Super aggressive from Coach Price. And it's worked. Scored 6 runs, trying to add the 7th right here. Walsh fouls that one off. Wanted that one back. So it's 1-2, the count now. 2-1, excuse me. 2-2. So 2-2 count for number 2 with 2 guys down and 2 guys on. 2's everywhere, trying to get a knock. Nakahara gets caught going. Galusha is going to score, and a bad throw to first. So Travesty nearly strikes that time for the Sockeyes, but they turn it into a run. Walsh no choice but to smile at that one. Coach Price, I'm sure, doing the same. Heads up base running by Galusha to get across. And just like that, the lead is extended to 2 runs now for the Sockeyes. Carter Walsh with a guy at second, still with a chance to score a run and add on to that total. That one outside for ball 3. And yet again, we find ourselves with a full count to a Sockeye. Walsh getting ready. The righty delivers. That one fouled off, so staying alive. We'll do the 3-2 count again. Sockeyes doing an incredible job to get these counts deep. Seen a ton of full counts, and these arms are having to work their hardest. Walsh is going to advance to first on the walk, and Nakahara is going to stroll into third with that wild pitch.
Who is this?
This is Lance Anderson.
This is Jack Dale.
So 2 guys on now. It's runners on the corners. 2 guys out, but you can imagine that Coach Price, based on the 7 stolen bases, Carter Walsh is more than likely going to try and take second. In at the dish now is number 3, Lance Anderson. There he goes, just like that. And no throw from the catcher. Worried that Nakahara would come across the plate for a run, so everybody in the crowd knew that was going to happen and still couldn't stop it. Wheels from Carter Walsh. That pitch is there for a ball, so it's ball 2. Nakahara is 90 feet away, Walsh 180. Lance Anderson with his first AB replacing Jack Hale. both at second base and in the lineup.
Is that 34?
Anderson, another prolific infielder, the 3-0 count. And he watches it go. So load the bases now with 2 outs. The Potatoes cannot figure out how to get a third out. Once they get the 2 outs, it feels like the Sockeyes just start to come alive. So now, for his first plate appearance, pinch hitting is number 34, Ethan Gardner. Gardner replacing Ryder Cutlip. So bases loaded here for Gardner. Takes strike 1 into the top of the zone. 2 outs. Sockeyes still with a chance to add even more runs. Pitch on its way from Cormilo. Off speed is high and outside. Not much thought put into that take from Gardner. So Gardner will be playing left field more than likely when the Sockeyes defense comes back out.
He came from north side. Is that
That one outside for ball 2. Gardner attends a Wenatchee Valley in Arizona. This pitch on its way to 2-1. Spiked in the dirt, gets away from the catcher, but Nakahara not going to try and go.
Yeah. It's hard to see which one because it's such a mission. It's hard to.
So swinging that bat around, here comes Gardner with the 3-1 count. Takes that one. So his first plate appearance is going to be a walk, and it's going to walk a run around. Sockeyes score their 8th run of the ball game. Second time scoring on a bases batted in. And a mound visit is going to put in a new noodle for the Potatoes. Take a break here while we wait for this new guy to get warmed up. We'll be right back. So bases loaded. Still here in the bottom of the 6th inning. Number 23, Grady Daniels, steps in.
Utah Tech University, first baseman, number 23, Grady
Daniels still hitless on the day. He drew a walk in his very first appearance. Bases loaded this time for him, so a little bit more pressure. See if he can respond to it. Fouls that first one off. I say pressure lightly because the Sockeyes do have a 3-run lead now. 2 runs scored so far in this inning, but I'm sure that they wouldn't mind a few more just for safety. So the pitching change resulted in putting Gage Summerfield on the mound for the Potatoes. Like I said, that bullpen runs thin very quickly, so that time it's going to be the third baseman, moving over to the mound. Daniels takes that one. Ball 2. So 2-1 is the count for number 23, the Utah Tech man. 3 guys on. Some speed on the bags too, so if Walsh is the fastest person on the team, then Ethan Gardner over there at first is probably a close second. And Lance Anderson at second base can move himself. So Daniels, if he can get a good piece of hitting here, you could score a ton of runs. Weekly hits that one over to third. It's going to be a close play, though. Daniels can't leg it out, but a bad throw gets past the first baseman. Gardner rounding hard in there. Sockeyes score 3 runs on a circus play. Hard to keep track of that entirely, but it was a throwing error from the third baseman over to first. The sun was directly in the first baseman's eyes. So a single and an error advances Daniels to second. And 3 runs scored. I was thinking that they would have to take a good swing and put a good ball in play, but they just put the ball in play, and those 3 guys all came across in a hurry. So now O'Neal with a fresh count here with 2 outs. O'Neal trying to get himself going. He's 0 for 4 on the day. But the Sockeyes now have a 5-11 lead just like that. So it's 5 runs scored in this inning. Daniels over there at second base. Doesn't quite check his swing, but stops himself from swinging. Leaves that one inside. So O'Neal attended Kuna High School his last season. He'll be attending the College of Southern Idaho this next year, along with a few of his teammates from the Sockeyes, including Jack Ryan. There's a few. That one hit really well to right field. Going back deep. Hits the wall. Cason O'Neal with a stand-up double. RBI. And he's going fishing over there at the second base pad. Cason O'Neal with his first hit of the game, and it's a big swing. Talked about it earlier on one of his other appearances. He likes to pull that ball over to right field, and when he does, you know it. That ball was barreled up. Hits just below the scoreboard in right field. Nearly sent that one out of here. But you can imagine that O'Neal is just stoked to finally get a hit in this game. And it's a huge swing of the bat, scoring Daniels from second. So they trade spots. And now steps in the substitute right fielder, number 25, Kyler Saunders. So nice piece of hitting from O'Neal brings up the next batter. Saunders did not hit in the last game, but he was on the mound for the first either 3 or 4 innings. I have to check one more time. But in those innings, he only allowed 1 hit and no runs. That one flared off to right field. It's going to be a hard play to make. It's going to drop just fair. Saunders trades spots with O'Neal this time. So back-to-back doubles from the Sockeyes. Back-to-back RBIs. And it feels like the Sockeyes are getting ready to put this one to bed in the bottom of the 6th inning. 7 runs scored. This has been the story of the summer for the Sockeyes. If you struggle with that first pitcher, just wait till the bullpen gets going. And once the opponent bullpen gets going, it feels like all bats are a go. Takahashi checks his swing, but it's in there for a strike. So Takahashi is 2 for 3 on the day. Drew a walk for himself, so he's reached base 3 times out of 4 plate appearances. 5-13 is the lead after this gigantic inning for the Sockeyes. Juan able to corral that one and put a glove on it. So Summerfield's struggling up there on the mound. They're seeing him really well right now. Sockeyes have 10 hits to those 13 runs. Takahashi swings and misses that one.
Good thing the boys aren't on the mics tonight, huh?
1-2 with 2 outs. Summerfield. The throw to Takahashi on its way. And he watches that one inside. So Takahashi, I've mentioned it, I believe, once before, but he's attending Portland University. He'll be playing his sophomore season this next summer, or this next school ball season. That one flared over to third base, and the Potatoes finally able to get their 3rd out of the inning, but not after the Sockeyes tack on 7 runs in the bottom of the 6th. Back in the top of the 7th, the Potatoes are going to try and give a little bit of life to their offense. We'll be back shortly after this break from our sponsors. So here in the top of the 7th inning, pitching change. Now on the bump, number 49, Carson Atwood. Atwood is going to be the first righty that the Sockeyes have put on the mound. That first pitch is well inside for ball 1. So while I've got a second, we'll do a quick review of all the fielding changes that the Sockeyes have made. So it's Nakahara behind the plate, holding it down at the catcher spot. Daniels still out there at first. Anderson is playing second, replacing Jack Hale. Takahashi and Galusha both remain at short and third. Swing and a miss that time. Atwood sped him up with the fastball. In left field is Ethan Gardner. Center field is still Carter Walsh. And right field is now Kyler Saunders replacing Dane Bradshaw. So Atwood quickly finds himself in a 3-1 hole, trying to dig himself out here. Next pitch is on its way. The winds and throws. And it misses the strike zone for ball 4. So Atwood is attending the Northwest Nazarene University, NNU, in Nampa, Idaho. Quite a few NNU guys on the Sockeyes squad.
Now batting in the
3 of
shortstop,
them
number 12, Michael
on the field
Ortiz.
right now. Walsh and Saunders in center and right also attending NNU. And Galusha over there at third attended it last year. That one is low for ball 1. So the Sockeyes, a comfortable 8-run lead now. Takes a lot of the pressure off the pitching. That one skied into center field. Put a squeeze on that one. Carter Walsh had a pretty busy day out there at center, but no trouble that time to get the first guy out. So Atwood has only pitched a total of 2 innings
Center fielder, number 19,
thus far on the
Steve
season.
Menard.
He's thrown 30 pitches.
He would be doing that to this guy if they keep the
Still yet to get a strikeout under his belt. See if he can do so here. He has not played the entire season with the Sockeyes, I do not believe. There's that one. Hits him.
But I can't tell yet.
It looks like number 4.
So 2 guys on now. Coach Brian Wolf going to take a second to talk things over with Atwood.
Should be Xavier McGee.
And just like that, Atwood, with an extremely short stint that time,
We done already?
not sure if Atwood's arm is still feeling 100%. So on steps number 8, Jack Ryan. Will be back here shortly. Give him a chance to warm up. So back here, still in the top of the 7th inning, one guy down.
Now batting.
Now stepping
Third
on is
baseman,
Jack
number
Ryan.
3, Landon Cheney.
Ryan trying to get the Sockeyes out of this little jam they've got going. 2 guys on. Runner on 2nd and 1st. Ryan takes a glance at the guy at 2nd. That ball's hit over to Galusha. Tags 3rd. Nice play over there at 1st. Double play. Nate Galusha, just like that, ends the inning for the Sockeyes. Heads up play, gets the force out at 3rd, and then rifles one over there at first base. So the Sockeyes, before I could even really speak, one pitch ends the inning there. Anticipate Ryan gets another shot to come back up after that.
No runs.
But
No
just
hits. No Sockeye
a
errors.
second here for the
Okay,
7th, bottom of the 7th gets kicked underway.
Let's do a little
Be back
stretching.
here shortly from Wolf Field as the sun begins to set. Give you guys a quick intermission. Be right back. So bottom of the 7th inning, leading off here, the man who just made that double play over there at 3rd base, Nate
Now
Galusha.
batting.
Galusha
Attending Kansas West
had a
Lane,
really
third
good
baseman,
few
number
games,
17,
past
Nate
few
Galusha.
games for the Sockeyes. As he watches strike one go by, he's made his fair share of plays in the infield. When he got his chance on the mound, he absolutely shoved one player of the game in that game. Can't quite remember which one that was. But it's a 1-1 count now here. Galusha facing Summerfield. Still 0 for 1, but 3 walks to his name. Trying to draw one here. He gets himself ahead 2-1. So the leadoff man pops that one up foul. First baseman thought about running after it, but it escapes the field. 2-2 is the count now for Nate Galusha leading it off. Galusha attending Kansas Wesleyan in his next season, and he wears that one straight on the back. So he's reached a base 4 times. He's only had 1 out. 3 of them are walks, and then that time he's on base on a hit by pitch. So now it's number 4, Kosei Nakahara.
Attending Kobe University,
Nakahara
Japan.
got himself
Number
going
4, Kosei
when he came in to
Nakahara.
pinch hit. He's 1 for 1. This will be his second plate appearance. And Summerfield throws that one inside to him. So man on first, the 1-0 count to Kosei Nakahara. That one outside, but 1. Able to corral that one that time. So 2-0 now is the count.
Okay.
Takes a glance at Galusha over there at first. Pitch thrown. Nakahara pops that one straight up. First baseman giving chase and puts the squeeze on that one for the out. So Nakahara goes down with that foul ball pop-up. And now steps another pinch hitter for the Sockeyes, this time number 9, Hunter Christensen.
Now batting.
Stepping in the box. He'll be a senior at Columbia High School in Nampa, Idaho. Christensen subbing in for Carter Walsh as he fouls that one straight back. Christensen, one of the few Sockeyes to have a home run credited towards his name. He got that home run picked up on the road trip that the Sockeyes took that they're getting ready to go back on. That pitch gets away from the catcher. No surprise. Galusha able to get into second base with no trouble.
I think that was wild pitch. Is that what you're thinking, just like a wild pitch?
So Summerfield still trying to continue his outing. It's 1-1 count with one guy down. Runner on second is Galusha. That pitch outside. Christensen leaves that one. He's batting 200 on the Sockeye season. Typically somebody you see coming in as a designated hitter, but he does play the outfield positions, left, center, and right. Swings on that one. Breaking pitch was outside. Swings his bat as he sets himself up here. 2-2 count. Watches that one low to fill the count up. Full count again for the Sockeyes offense. Feels like they've been in this situation about 100 times now. Seeing how this one goes for Christensen. And that pitch was outside, framed as a strike by the catcher, Juan. So Christensen goes down looking for the second out of the inning. That time was a strikeout.
Attending Columbia Basin Community College, second baseman.
So here comes
Anderson.
the second baseman, Lance Anderson. Anderson, big swing and fouls that one off. Anderson attending Columbia Basin for his freshman season, this next collegiate baseball season. Played his senior year at Bora High School this past season. Off-speed pitch, fools him there. In for a strike. 0-2 now. Sockeyes here in the bottom of the 7th, still with that 8-run lead. That time had to duck for cover for that ball. Pitch on its way from Summerfield. Driven over to the shortstop, but he can't field it cleanly. Galusha rounding third. Going to be a run scored. So the Sockeyes make it 14-5 after that pitch was swung on, driven over, grounded over to shortstop, I should say. Just an error committed by short. So guy on first base is Anderson, reaching on that error. Still 2 outs here.
Now batting.
And now batting number 34, Ethan Gardner.
Left fielder number 34, Ethan Gardner.
Gardner swings on that first one. Pops straight up to Ansel Dua, the second baseman, puts the squeeze on it for the third out. So the Sockeyes end that inning with that pop out, but not after adding one more run, just to insult to injury. 5-14 is the score. Be back here in the top of the 8th inning with the Sockeyes. Pitching staff comes back up, trying to continue the shutout since the 2nd inning. We'll be back with more action from Wolf shortly. So here we go in the top of the 8th inning. Leading off for the Potatoes is the catcher Brooks Wan. Another substitution at the pitching position for the Sockeyes. This time it's going to be Henry Clark, number 51. Jack Ryan with a very productive outing. Only 1 pitch, but he got 2 outs out of that 1 pitch. So 2 strikes quickly here for Henry Clark. Clark, another Northwest Nazarene guy. Pitch well inside. The catcher tried to say that it hit him, but I'm not sure that the umpire's buying it.
He didn't see that.
We're going to appeal to the first base ump, but
Yeah, I did.
he would have binoculars for eyes if he could have seen that.
Whatever you saw.
Yeah. So the at-bat will go on, as was. Ball 1.
Now just give him a measuring horse.
Clearly did not want to face Clark here if he's trying to take his base that quickly. So here it goes, the 1-2. Hit right back up between Clark's legs. Definitely woke him up there.
Yeah, it did.
So reaching first base that time is the catcher Juan, who's had a extremely busy day behind the dish. Always like to take a look at these pitchers' stats that they're coming in with. This time is Clark, number 51. He's thrown a total of 9 innings thus far for the Sockeyes. This will be his 10th as we await the first pitch of this count. Misses inside. So in those 10 innings pitched, he's only allowed 6 hits total, and he's struck out 8 batters. He's definitely a guy on the mound who strikes people out. That time it's going to be driven into left field, drops down for another base hit. Clark in trouble here early, nobody down. First 2 guys reach on base hits.
Now batting,
Clark
second baseman,
stands
number
at
1, Isaiah
6'5",
Anzalua.
220. So another one of those Sockeyes pitchers who just commanding presence on the mound when you talk about size. First pitch drops low. Nakahara can't field that one cleanly, so both guys advance. Runners move to second and third on that wild pitch. Temperature here in Caldwell, Idaho, started off around 92 and it's dropped all the way down to 83. So now it's great baseball weather. That wind's still blowing a little bit from left to right. Here we go, nobody down. 1 ball here. Anzalua, the batter, thought about it, but he's going to leave that one. So 5-14, still the lead for the Sockeyes here. Trying to hold on to that lead. Here it comes from Clark. Swung on and missed. There we go, is that fastball. Something that he's usually in complete control of. Definitely a put-away pitch for him when he can speed guys up a little bit. The righty-righty matchup, Clark to Anzalua. 2-1 count. That one fouled straight backwards. So it's 2-2 now. Clark battled his way back from a 2-0 count to even it up with 2. Nobody down still. Clark trying to get the first out of the inning just to see that first guy down. Sets himself on the mound. Here comes the kick and the pitch. That one in the dirt. Nakahara loses it. Runner's going to come across and score. So the Potatoes score their 6th run of the contest. That time on a pass ball. Nakahara couldn't see that one. Hit off of his right knee, spiked in the dirt. So it's also ball 3, payoff pitch coming here from Clark when he sets himself up on the mound. Got a guy on third base. So the Potatoes still with a chance to score a run. Clark trying to shut it down, but that one in the dirt for ball 4. So a run scored, 2 guys on base, runners on the corners. Curious to see the leash that Clark has on the mound.
Now batting,
If he can't start
the
getting
pitcher,
outs
number
here.
23, Gage Summerfield.
Now in at the dish, Gage Summerfield, the pitcher, in here to take his hacks. He's 0 for 2 on the day. Clark pitches. Ansel do a jumping around there at first base. That one high and inside.
Yeah, they have.
And they say that hit him. So just like that, the bases are loaded with no outs. Sockeyes with an 8-run cushion. So I'm not sure that
Now batting, left
they're
fielder,
feeling
number
a
8,
ton of
Reed
pressure.
Lewis.
Very worried right now, but I can imagine that there's probably a little bit of movement in the bullpen, potentially for the Sockeyes. Don't want to let them back in the game for free. That pitch in there for a strike from Clark. 6-4, or 6-14, I should say, that lead for the Sockeyes. Pitch from Clark, swung on. Rough day at the plate for Lewis. He's 1 for 3, but couldn't take. He got struck out by Towers and in danger of striking out. This time to Henry Clark. We'll see if he can put him away here. 0-2 delivery on its way, and he does. Strikes him out. Lewis headed back to the dugout with his head down. So 1 out there. Clark in command of that count from the start.
Now batting, first baseman, number 11, Cooper Dalton.
He would love nothing more than to roll up a double play to get out of this inning. Definitely a possibility with Anderson over there at second and Takahashi at short. Strike 1 called down the middle that time. So if a nice little weak ground ball is hit to the right Sockeyes infielder, you can imagine that they're going to try and roll 2. Didn't even mention Galusha as one of those guys. That one gets past Takahashi at short. Throw from Christensen, not in time. So that one, a single that scores 2 runs and advances the runner all the way to third base. So what felt like a game that was unfathomable for a potential comeback is still well out of reach. It's a 7-run or 6-run game, but the Potatoes making an effort to try and get it close. 8-14 sounds a lot better than 5-14.
Michael Corkish.
Michael Corkish up at the dish for the Potatoes. He's 1 for 3 on the game. 1 out. Fresh count here for Corkish. Strike 1 called. Here comes the 0-1 pitch from Clark. But the batter's going to take time here to recollect his thoughts. Check on the runner at first, but nothing doing that time. So 1 out, 1 strike, no balls. The count here in Caldwell, Idaho. Sockeyes trying to put this game away and stop the bleeding here. Allowed 3 runs thus far in this inning. 2 earned, 1 unearned on a pass ball. Pitch from Clark is fouled off, way inside on the hands touches his bat to the plate as he steps in for the 1-2 count. One guy down, the double play ball is still a possibility here. Thought about going that time, but he leaves it high for ball 2. Here in the top of the 8th inning, one guy down, Sockeyes trying to get out of this inning without any more runs scored. Potatoes able to put 3 up this inning to make it an 8-14 ball game. Clark fouls him off that time, so we'll do the 2-2 count over one more time. Here we go, 2-2. That pitch is high, so fill the count up 3-2.
Jimmy, trip him on his way by.
Full count payoff pitch. We'll wait after Clark checks on the guy at first base.
I'll just scoot my chair back a little bit.
Pitch from Clark on the way, 3-2. Winds and throws. That one high. So it loads the bases here for the Potatoes on ball 4. LP is going to take a walk over there to the mound. Have a talk with Hank Clark. Sockeyes trying to get out of this inning. But it looks like a new arm, Cason O'Neill, is going to replace Clark. So again, we'll give him some time to get warm up there on the mound. Take a quick break. So back here in the top of the 8th inning. Next batter steps in. Pitching change for the Sockeyes. Now in the lefty, Cason O'Neill. O'Neill previously in at the designated hitter spot as ball 1 goes by this time. So still only 1 out here. Sockeyes looking to maybe roll a double play to get out of this inning. O'Neill was 1 for 5 on the day at the dish as he blows that one by him for strike 1. O'Neill 1 for 5, and that one hit was a double to the wall. Bounced right underneath the scoreboard. Huge hit, RBI double. Pitch in there for strike 2. O'Neill coming in with a command on the mound that we have not seen thus far in this inning. Seeing if he can put away the second out with this next pitch. The 1-2 on its way. Swing and a miss. So struck him out swinging that time. Kaysen O'Neill looking good up there, the lefty on the mound. Kaysen O'Neill. He's pitched 5.1 innings for the Sockeyes.
Now batting.
In those 5.1 innings, he's allowed 5 hits, 6 strikeouts coming into the game. That was his 7th. O'Neill attending College of Southern Idaho this next season, where he will be called on to pitch primarily next year. So getting a little bit of burn on the mound for the Sockeyes in preparation for his position switch. That one, strike 2 called to the next batter. 0-2 is the count now. O'Neill trying to put away this 3rd out and strand all 3 batters. Swung and fouled back. Cheney, 2 for 4 on the day. He's had himself a really productive game. But here comes the 0-2 once again from Kaysen O'Neill. Winds and throws. And the exact same foul ball. So we'll do it yet again. The 3rd time with this 0-2 count.
So if we get someone, we have Tiny Tim ready. Is the catcher Leo?
Yeah.
O'Neill sets, winds, throws. That one in the dirt. 3 balls to play with that time. Trying to get him digging at something he can't hit. Comes set here again. Though this time it's the 1-2. Swung on and missed. 2 Ks for Kaysen O'Neill. Strike 3. Gets the Sockeyes out of that jam. Still 3 runs scored for the Potatoes. Sockeyes with what is likely going to be their last chance to score any runs here in the bottom of the 8th inning. We'll be back here shortly after this break.
Left on base. In from the bullpen and now on the mound.
So here we go in the bottom of the 8th inning. What will likely be the last time the Sockeyes bats come up here. In at the dish, leading off is number 23, Grady Daniels. Daniels watches that one outside. Daniels 1 for 3 on the day. Hits that one well. Drops just in front of the center fielder for a base knock. So leading off for the Sockeyes, Daniels gets a hit. Winds up on first base. Sockeyes looking to keep this game going and maybe add a couple more runs before they call it a night. Now batting, the pitcher, Cason O'Neill. O'Neill just had a super solid last 2 outs. Struck out both guys to kind of save the Sockeyes there with the bases loaded. O'Neill in his last at-bat. Already mentioned it, but he hit that wall. Pulled it over to the right field wall. Does a similar thing there, but one's going to drop into the glove of the right fielder who makes a sliding play. Daniels is going to have to retreat to first base. O'Neill, no choice but to smile that time. Hit a lot of baseballs into play, but nothing has been able to fall for him these past few weeks.
Now batting, attending Northwest Nazarene
Coach
University,
Price
right fielder, number 25,
smiling along there with him.
Saunders.
Sometimes that's just the way baseball goes. So here comes Kyler Saunders. He's 1 for 2 on the day. In at the dish, trying to potentially score another run. That one nearly hits him in the head. From McGee. McGee, the new pitcher on the mound for the Potatoes. That one inside, so looks pretty determined to hit Saunders here. Thrown around him. 2-0 is the count. One guy down, one on first. Here in the bottom of the 8th. That one spiked in the dirt. Daniels is going to jog on over there to second base. 3-0 is the count to Saunders. Pitch on its way. And inside, ball 4. So Saunders takes his base over there at first on the walk. Sockeyes offense not ready to stop yet. 2 guys on. Runner on first and second. And now steps in the Sockeyes shortstop, Austin Takahashi. Takahashi 2 for 4. Had himself a really good day at the plate. Pitch outside. So 5 balls in a row from this pitcher McGee. Take a quick mound visit to try and regroup. Catcher will walk back to his spot behind the dish. Takahashi, the righty, or the lefty, still in at the dish.
Uh-oh. Hot mic. Hot mic.
The 1-0 in there for a strike. So a pretty productive mound visit there from the catcher and the pitcher. McGee still up there staring down Takahashi. Delivers that one. And it's hit over to second. Anzaldua lays out for it. Rolls 1. Can't roll 2. Takahashi, too much speed. But a nice out there from Isaiah Anzaldua. Holding it down at shortstop, or at second base for the Potatoes. 2 guys down now. A runner 90 feet away from the 15th run of the game.
Now batting, attending Kansas Wesleyan.
Here comes the third baseman, Nate Galusha, stepping in the box here. Galusha has been walked 3 times hit once and seeing a ton of plate appearances. Crowd going here. Sockeyes chance to score one more run if they can get a hit. That one chopped over third base, puts the glove on it. Close play, but they got him over there at first. So that ends the bottom of the eighth. The Sockeyes will be back in the top of the ninth with a chance to put this one away. They've got a 6-run cushion, and we await the pitcher, Cason O'Neill, coming back out onto the mound. We'll be right back after this break from our sponsors. So here we go in the top of the ninth inning. Leading off for the Potatoes, number 22, Brooks Wan. Wan, the catcher for the Potatoes. Stepping into the box. Facing off against the lefty, Cason O'Neill, who had a really good couple batters he faced. Two guys both sent down on strikeouts as he leaves that one just a bit high. Ball one. Here we go. O'Neill delivers that one. That one in there for a strike. So Cason O'Neill finding that strike zone once again. Trying to get the Sockeyes their 13th win in a row. Would be a pretty incredible feat. And they are 3 outs away from that being a possibility. So 2-1 is the count now. O'Neill sets up, kicks, throws. That one fouled off by Wan. So when he steps back in, it'll be a 2-2 count. Sockeyes still leading 14-8 here in the top of the ninth inning. That one outside. So full count, a common occurrence in this game from both sides. O'Neill trying to get this first guy out. Looking for potentially his 3rd strikeout in a row. Payoff pitch on its way. Lifted deep into left field. Bad route from Christensen that time. Loses the ball. That's going to be extra bases for Wan. And he's in there for a double to lead it off for the Potatoes.
Oh, he's out!
Wan celebrating too much on the bag. Heads up play from the Sockeyes infield to tag him out. So a bad look for the Potatoes that time. Juan hit a really good drive
9-4.
over to left field, but a heads-up play by Anderson. He came off the bag and he tagged him for the out, so Juan is going to have to take a second to think about what he just got caught doing. Got caught lacking that time. 1-0 is the count. That one well inside. So 3-0 is the count here. Cason O'Neill, the lefty, delivers. That one, so a 4-pitch walk. So Isaiah Anzaldua, the second baseman, in at the dish for the Potatoes. And that one high. So O'Neill trying to find his spot again. He's thrown 5 balls in a row. Runner on first. One guy down. That pitch inside, so 6 balls in a row. Evan Massey doing his job on the mic to try and get the Sockeyes crowd back into it. Runner on first base. There's 2-0 is the count now. See if O'Neill can find his footing here. That pitch is also outside. So 3-0. All of a sudden, looks like O'Neill has kind of lost himself here. And there's 8 balls thrown in a row. You can imagine might be somebody to walk out here, talk to O'Neill in a second, but instead Nakahara elects to trust him up there on the mound. On the bright side, the double play is still a possibility here. Runner on first and second now. Xavier McGee in at the dish. McGee just on the mound for the Potatoes. O'Neill steps off to reset himself. Shaking that pitch off, so here it comes. That one low and away, so it's ball 9 for O'Neill.
Well, they played at a level of competition, and some of these guys are big gaps. Even though they've only got short stints.
1-0 count. That one inside again. So O'Neill shaking his head a little bit, trying to find his footing here. Really commanding 2 strikeouts, and then he's kind of straight away from that, seeing if he can't get himself back in here with the 2-0 pitch. That one also high. So 3-0 the count. Potential to load the bases, and McGee probably not somebody you want to walk. There it is, strike 1. So we'll see if O'Neill can climb that ladder, figurative ladder of course, to get back from a 3-0 count. It's 3-1 now. Still 1 out, runner on second and on first, so a ground ball could be turned into 2. Swing and a miss, and McGee, not somebody who looks super confident at the dish. If you're O'Neill, probably just want to throw the ball in the strike zone and let him swing at it. And there you go, strike 3. O'Neill with his 3rd K of his outing. So here we go, Sockeyes only 1 out away from 13 consecutive wins. Looking to do that here. Braden Lewis, 1 for 4 on the day. Struck out twice today, one of which was to O'Neill. That one lifted Foul territory. Daniels on pursuit. Can't put a glove on it. So strike one. And it's a loud one. Everybody's going to have to return to their bases. Still no damage done here by the Potatoes in this inning. Scoreless with 2 guys down, looking to put an end to this game. Case and O'Neill with a 1-0 or an 0-1 count ahead to Lewis. That pitch is high. Lewis, like I said, 1 for 4 on the day. He struck out twice. Could be 3 times. I can't recall. But that one, not going to strike him out. That one's a ball high. So 2-1 now. The pitcher, Case and O'Neill on the bump. 2-1. Swung on and missed. 2-2 now. Sockeyes 1 pitch away from 13 wins in a row. The crowd on their feet, stomping their feet. Here comes the 2-2 pitch on its way from O'Neill. And that one's not going to get him. It's inside. 3-2. So 3-2, full count. Pitcher Evan Massey with the hot mic over there in the dugout trying to get everybody going. Here it comes. Payoff pitch. Swung on and fouled, so we get to do it one more time. O'Neill still on the bump. 3-2 is going to be the count one more time. Here we go. Pitch on the way. And that one's outside. So that'll load the bases with a walk. Dalton, one of the better bats for the Potatoes lineup, up to see if he can't get some late game heroics here. 2 outs, but I mean he's got bases loaded, so anything's possible in the game of baseball. See if Case and O'Neill can't regain his footing with this 0-0 count. That one in there for a strike. Nice pitch to catch the inside zone. So O'Neill, the offering is high. Ball 1. Pitch, wind, throw. That one is high, 2-1. This crowd's still in the game. Trying to see this win for the Sockeyes. That one swung on and missed. So 2-2. 1 pitch away again. Sockeyes trying to get this win over the Potatoes for what would be the 3rd win in a row over them. 2-2 pitch on its way. Kick, throw. Swung on and missed. Case and O'Neill strikes him out. 13 wins in a row for the Sawtooth Sockeyes. Can't ask for much more. Came back from that road, and man, have they looked incredible since they've gotten home. These home fans have been treated to 13 consecutive wins. A commanding win, putting up 14 runs. Get that win 14-8 over the Potatoes. Sockeyes pick it up, and they'll be back up looking for their 14th win in a row on the 5th of July. We'll see you back here at Wolf Field at 6:35. Have a good night, Sockeyes fans. We'll see you next time.